How often do you allow social media to construct your beliefs and ideas around anything in life? But what I want to dive into specifically today is how it's impacting ourselves and our relationships and our beliefs, and specifically giving. That's something I've been having to explore over the last month or two. The idea of giving and receiving. It's important. It's a universal law. You have to give to receive. And specifically around relationships, I have been, I haven't been giving. I have not been giving as much as I could. And I have a fear of relationships. I have a fear of commitment. I have a fear of losing myself when I'm in a relationship. And a lot of us probably feel that way. But I was having a conversation this morning, and it made me realize that fear of giving too much to the wrong person or losing myself so much I have to start over again, the fear of those things were they're stopping me from fully immersing myself in the experience. I'm so worried about giving my energy or my love or my attention to the wrong people that I just choose not to give at all. But yeah, I'm perfectly okay with receiving. I'm perfectly okay with taking. But because I'm so analytical on what, where, and who, and what I give my energy to, I'm choosing not to give. And I don't like that. And even diving into the idea of losing yourself in a relationship, I have a fear of that because I tend to do it in all of my relationships. I lose myself. But I was thinking this morning, do I really lose myself? Or is it just a fear of getting lost that I never even allow myself to get lost? I don't allow myself to immerse in the experience, in myself and the other person. And I was thinking, what caused that? What gave me those ideas? What gave me those beliefs? And social media is a big aspect of it because there's so much relationship advice and life advice on social media. And for a long time, when I just felt super lost in my life and I was kind of in a stage of I need some new ideas, I need something, I was consuming a lot. I was consuming a lot on TikTok, a lot on Instagram, just from like these random people just giving out advice of, and I'm not saying that it's bad advice. I just took it in a little too much. And specifically the advice of being intentional with who you give your energy to. Not everybody deserves your energy. You don't need to give to everybody. Make sure everything's being reciprocated. And it's like I took that in, I embodied it, and now I'm realizing that I just stopped giving. Not entirely. I give. This podcast is a way of giving. I give advice. I talk to my friends. I give a lot of love. I give a lot of energy. But when it comes to my close relationships and people that are there for me and give to me, how do I give back? Other than just sharing and communicating. Because that's something I'm good at. That's something that's natural, kind of expected. Like good communication is expected in relationships. So I've been wondering, like, how am I giving back? And the answer is I haven't. because I have this fear of giving too much to the wrong people. And that's understandable to a degree. Like, of course, I'm not just gonna give away my time and energy to someone who clearly doesn't deserve it. But to those that do deserve it and have been giving themselves to me and more to me, why can't I allow myself to give, to go that extra mile? Because I know that's who I am deep down. I used to do the cutest things when I was little or when I was in my first couple relationships. I would go out of my way to make sure people felt seen and special. And I've been lacking in that a lot. And it doesn't feel very good. It does not feel very good. But it does feel good to be aware of it now and to recognize it and to sit in those feelings and to observe where it's come from and how I can move forward to get away from that. And it also comes from the lack of even giving to myself. You know, I've been in a state of just trying to get settled. For many years of my life, I was in survival mode. And so I didn't have the energy to really give to myself. And lately, I feel like I haven't even been valuing my own time and energy. When I feel like I don't want to deal with what's going on in my head, I just go spend time with other people. But it's like, what is that really doing for me or the other person? Because, if I'm not showing up for myself, then I'm sure as hell not showing up for them. You know? So, I want to give. I want to be that giver again, regardless of if it's reciprocated. Because if I'm filling my own cup, if I'm giving to myself, if I'm living my passions, if I'm having a good day, why can't I give a little extra? Why can't I give a little extra to somebody who might need it? Or somebody who might just appreciate it? Or just to somebody? Why can't I do that? Why am I stopping myself from doing that? Why do I feel like that's a bad thing? It's crazy. Because it's not. And when I was staying with Erin, she didn't give it to me, but she let me read this passage from one of her spiritual books. I don't know much about it, but I think it was around I don't know much detail, but I just know based on my birthday, May 10th, that I am a 9 of diamonds. And based on that book, it means I am the giver. That is me as a being. I am the giver. And literally in that paragraph, explaining what the 9 of diamonds person is and the giver, what that really means, it was talking about how if the 9 of diamonds person disregards the universal laws, for example, you must give to receive, you're going to have a hard time in life. It literally said that in the paragraph. And let me tell you, I've been having a hard time. And it was just so eye-opening to read that. It was like, wow, I'm not just going through all of this for no reason, which, not that I was thinking that anyway. I know it's all to teach me something. But it was just so interesting because I do receive a lot. I do receive a lot. People love to give to me. And it's such a beautiful thing. And even being in modeling and acting, I receive a lot of free things. And so I've been recognizing lately that I've been expecting it. And I got called out. Somebody had the hard conversation with me, made me cry. But they said, you're not very good at showing gratitude. And I was like, damn, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. I haven't been good at showing gratitude. You know? And it's okay. We live and we learn. But I'm grateful for that person for calling me out on that. Because I needed to hear it. As hard as it fucking hurt. I needed to hear that. And it all just stems from fear and from these beliefs that I've picked up. That I need to have certain things to be able to give back. When in reality, it does not take much to give, to go that extra mile. Like, it literally takes nothing. But yet, here I am, being bad at it. You know? And it's interesting to hear that, considering I preach gratitude on the daily. And I am grateful for a lot of things. I show up. She wasn't saying that I'm not grateful. It's just how I express it doesn't necessarily come off in the best way. And it was interesting to hear that. It was necessary to hear that. But it's made me reflect a lot on how I'm showing up for myself, how I'm showing up in my relationships, and how I can go that extra mile. Like, I sent out a couple of messages to like my family and my friends this morning. I'm like, I love you and I appreciate you, but how can I show up better in our relationship? What can I do to give back to you to make you feel seen and heard and really loved in our relationship? And it felt really good to send that message, you know, just like taking myself down a level and being like, hey, how can I show up more for you? Because I've been thinking like, and telling myself like, I just need to give to myself. Like, it needs to be all about me right now. But like, is that really the case? Who's to fucking know? Maybe I'm meant to just give more, be more intentional, show up more, go that extra mile for myself, of course, but for others as well. Maybe that's my intention right now. And I won't know until I keep living it. But that's definitely what the universe is telling me right in this moment. And this morning. You know? But this is why it's so important to sit with yourself. And I even like, in my last relationship, I learned how to really express myself. I learned how to really communicate. But I feel like I also learned how to communicate in a way where I didn't have to deal with it actually. By just expressing to others and not actually facing and just putting it on them. And that's not really good. You know, it's good to have clear and open communication, but it's also good to face it yourself. Deal with it yourself. Figure it out yourself. Feel it. Sit with it. Even if it fucking hurts, even if you're crying your eyes out, it is important to sit with it. And that's what I've been learning. I learned that this morning. I learned it this morning, actually. I sent a long message. Not saying that it didn't need to be sent, but I could have sat with those feelings more. I could have internalized it and dealt with it and released it. But it ended up in turning into a beautiful conversation. And so I'm grateful for that. It made me recognize a lot. It made me recognize a lot about what I'm speaking on right now. It definitely gave some inspiration for this episode, clearly. So, like, it all happens, you know? What I said happened, came out for a reason. But it also showed me that I needed to sit with myself more and sit with my feelings more. And I don't need to always share. Because I feel like, one, I don't have a therapist. Could I use a therapist? Probably. And so because of that, I tend to, and it's something I'm really trying to understand and find the balance in, because like I love communicating and I know other people love and appreciate that, but there's a line of oversharing. There's a line of whenever you just need to kind of shut up and deal with it yourself, and then communicating it to others and then having that conversation. It's like there's a fine line there, and I'm trying to find that balance. And it comes with trial and error. And that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the trial and error. We're getting there. I'm ready to get back to the part of me. Let me rephrase that. I'm excited to bring that aspect of my younger self into who I am now. The aspect of me that loves to give, that loves to go the extra mile. And not in a people pleasing type of way, just in a I genuinely just want to fucking do it type of way, because it makes me happy. And because I know that's a part of my purpose here. I love giving. And I feel like that's part of why I've been so sad over the last couple of years. It's because I haven't been giving. I haven't been giving. And I know some of you may be saying, like, Maggie, you're contradicting yourself because you've been saying you've been giving too much of yourself in a different, intentional way. I've been giving in a way of, I've been sharing my energy because I didn't want to deal with my own self. That's what I'm taking back. I'm taking back that, dealing with it, and then giving the love. Giving the love, giving the peace, giving the inspiration that comes from me actually dealing with it and facing and being with myself. Like I keep saying, like I'm learning how to be with me again. And it's so beautiful. And I'm in a beautiful stage of life right now. Y'all know this. I talk about it all the time. But truly, I have a lot of love for everything that I'm going through right now, and I can just feel the shifts. And even just having those conversations, the hard conversations, like they suck in the moment. And I'm going to cry a lot. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because that is what is so beautiful in this life. Being able to be so real. Like I love just real deep conversations. Being so aware that you're just able to share how you feel and receive it from others. There's nothing better out there. So if any of this relates to you, I recommend asking first yourself, how can I show up better? How can I show up more intentionally? How can I give to me right now? And then after you figure that out for yourself, ask that for your friends and your family and your close ones. How can you show up better? Even if none of this relates to you. If you're still listening, it probably does. But just ask. I think that's an important reflection for all of us to have at some point. How can you show up more? And even if, like my friend that I sent that message to, she's like, girl, I don't feel like anything's lacking. And I was like, cool. That's good to hear. Maybe you're doing all that you can. Maybe you're doing the right things. But it's still good to check in. It's still good to check in and let people know that you care, like you want to be there for them. Because, it's important, and that's how relationships grow and thrive. Just showing up for each other. Asking those questions. Putting your ego aside and be like, yo, how can I show up for you better? It just makes everything better. Give more gifts. Share more gifts with the world. Allow yourself to fully immerse in an experience, in another person, in yourself, in your passions. Stop letting fear stop you. This is a message for myself and for anyone listening. Allow yourself to fully immerse. I'm tired of being so fucking careful. That's not what life's about. Like, I'm not here to tiptoe around things and always say the right things, always do the right things, give to the right, fuck. It's not what life's about. I don't want to be careful. I don't want to fucking analyze every goddamn little thing. Sorry. But geez, I don't want that. I just want to live. I want to experience. And over this time of me being in this spiritual journey, I remember last year, a month or two after getting back from Europe, I was just sitting on the beach. I just told him, I was like, I don't want my entire life to be about spirituality, because I felt like it was starting to disconnect me from other things. I don't want to be surrounded by only positivity. I don't want to cater my entire life to only be around things that are perfectly aligned with me. That's not fucking realistic. It's not realistic. And it steals and robs you of just true life experiences. I want to be around the good, the ugly, all of it. And if I'm so careful and if I'm so analytical on every little thing that I'm doing and every little person that I'm talking to, I'm not going to have those experiences. And I feel like the negative, that keeps you on track. If it's all positive, I felt like I was going crazy, because it's shit just feels too good. And maybe this is just a habit from having a chaotic life, but it's I want some chaos. It makes me feel alive. The things that go wrong, or just all of that, it makes me feel alive. Not to say that the positive and the beautiful things don't make me feel that, but it's a different kind of aliveness. I need the balance. It's a balance. And I feel like if you don't check yourself, you start to build a spiritual ego. I'm so aligned. I'm so high. Nobody can touch me. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I had to check myself, because I felt like I was getting there. And you start to get to a point where you're just analyzing everything, every conversation. You understand why people say what they do, how they feel, what might have caused that. And it's I just want to have a fucking conversation. I just want to have a conversation. Sorry, I'm getting heated over here, but I just want to have a conversation. I just want to be me. I just want to give. I just want to enjoy life. And I can't. Nobody's stopping me. Literally nobody's stopping me. Except for these patterns and beliefs in my mind and these ideas that I've adapted over life and social media and society, but I'm letting those go. First step is awareness. Observe it. Ask yourself, what part of this are you doing? Maybe it's none of this. Maybe it's all different. I don't know. But fuck. That's how I'm feeling today. Welcome to the magical lane. I was thinking about it. When I when I first picked the name, of course it rhymes. The magical lane with Maggie Jane. It's a fucking bar. I love it. And I was like, people are going to think this is a magical Disney podcast, because when you think of magic, you're usually oh, the Magic Kingdom and the Magic Castle. But there's also dark magic. There's a balance. There's both sides. That's what the magical lane is. It's both sides. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's the fucking thunderstorms as well. You gotta have a thunderstorm to see the rainbow. That's what the magical lane's about. It's all the beautiful magic of the world. The magic of ourselves, magic of our souls, magic of conversation, the magic of being fucking real and authentic and raw and vulnerable. That's the magic. Sometimes it's ugly as fuck. But even in the ugly times, those are the most beautiful. Like me crying my eyes out. That's so beautiful. I'm feeling. I'm feeling. I love that I can feel because some people hold that shit in. And if you're that person, go fucking cry. Go cry. I literally hope you cry today. Please do yourself a favor and cry. Like, you don't need to hold it in. You're not helping anything. Oh, I want to be a man. I can't feel my feelings. Fuck that. Cry. Let somebody hold you in their arms. Like, I know we all crave that shit. Find somebody to lean on their shoulder. And if you don't have anybody, lean on your pillow. Your pillow got you. Your pillow has got you. But just cry. Feel. Be real. Peace out.